It's almost May and summer's well and truly on its way, so here are 4 unique seeds that you can sow in May to try and impress all your allotment friends. This one looks like it's from another planet. We're starting strong with cauliflower Romanesco. Romanesco is much older than both broccoli and cauliflower. It was originally grown in Italy back in the 16th century. It's the more stylish cousin of both broccoli and cauliflower, and it's known for its famous fractals where every head is the same shape as the others. It's well known for its slightly nutty flavour, and chefs love working with it because it has an extra crunch. In Italy it's known as brain food because it's full of antioxidants and also full of vitamin C. You can choose to eat it raw, or you can boil it or roast it, but either way it will always be a showstopper on any plate. And it's also known as farmer's flex because it's not easy to grow, and if you can get it to grow then you've done an amazing job. Cucamelons, but the melon part in the name is actually slightly deceiving because they're more closely related to cucumbers. The taste will likely surprise you because they are very similar to cucumbers, but with a very slight hint of citrus to them. They were also an ancient snack of the Aztecs, so if you're eating them you know you're in good company. They are presumed super low maintenance to grow, but I've not had much luck in germinating them, so these ones I have had in the airing cupboard and germinated. They climb like pros, so you're going to want to make sure you've got some sticks ready for when they start to grow. Melothoria scabara is their real name. Sounds like a Harry Potter spell. And finally, they're a social media favourite, so be sure to take some photos and post them once you harvest. This one's a treble threat because you can eat both the bulb, the fronds and the seeds. We're talking about fennel. It smells and tastes a little bit like licorice with that sweet aniseed flavour. And it's been around for thousands of years, with the Greeks and Romans using it in all sorts of different medicines. And Roman gladiators used it before a fight because it was believed to give you strength and courage. It's also a pollinator magnet with the little flowers bringing in all of the bees and great pollinators that you want in your garden. And finally, it's the odd cousin of carrots, celery and parsley, but it tastes absolutely nothing like them. That leads me on to my final seed for today. And finally, this one's not particularly unique, but it's just unique in the colours. So we're going to be growing carrots, the rainbow mix. Sorry, I don't have loads of interesting facts about carrots, but they do help you to see in the dark, and these ones will prevent you from turning orange. But these variety of coloured carrots are actually how they grow originally in the wild. The orange ones are more genetically modified, so hopefully I'll have more success with these. Yet to have any success with carrots, so I'm going to put them in this pot where I can control them a bit better. Got a nice sandy compost in here, so hopefully no obstructions. And I'm going to make sure this is nice and damp, so they've got plenty of moisture to germinate. And then I'm going to sow the seeds in here, cover them up, and fingers crossed might actually get some carrots this year. Try and keep them fairly light sowing, because otherwise they all just clump together. See how that goes. Don't get too surprised, but I'm actually going to label my seeds for once as well. With those few seeds sown, it might be worth just taking a look at what was sown in the last few weeks as well and see how things are getting on inside the polytunnel. So just do a quick round. We've got an aubergine here which has been a little bit eaten but not looking too bad, and then in the back there one of the kiwis which is looking quite good. I don't know if I ever showed you the sweet peas that I sowed, but they're looking really quite healthy, so hoping that they continue to grow on. And then here I've got one of my chilies. I've got a few more that I still need to plant up along here. I've got not sure what this is, if it's a cauliflower or a broccoli, but that desperately needs to go out in the ground. And then I've got one corn growing here. That was, can't remember what that was, squash I think, and it never did much. And then there's also carrots in there. Marigolds are coming along slowly. We've got another chilli back there, and then spring onions, and in here is the wasabi rocket. Another brassica there, which I can't remember which one that is either. They were both planted last year, so they've done quite well to grow. It was a good idea planting them back in October, so I might think about doing that again. And then excuse the mess, but we've also got all these brassicas which are desperate to get in the ground. And then underneath here there are more aubergines, and I think there's 2 peppers in there as well. We've got these sunflowers which are doing quite well. We've got another aubergine here. We've got these leeks and normal onions. These desperately need to get into the ground. I keep saying every week I'm going to plant them out, but I never get around to it. And then we've got a few lettuce here. We've got the geraniums. We've got the oregano, which was planted back in January. It's very slow growing, but it is growing, so hopefully at some point they'll be ready to harvest. I've got one little cucumber in there. I must plant some more cucumbers because they haven't done much. And then this is the other kiwi. This one's doing much better. This side of the polytunnel seems to get more sun, so anything that likes the heat needs to go on this side. And it's turned into the most glorious blue sky day today, which is a bit of a surprise and nice. But also daffodils are just beginning to come out. I think all of these are going to bloom this week, so that's really great. This strawberry bed needs a bit of repair work done on it because the frame has fallen apart, but the strawberries have got flowers on them now. I was reading last night that you're supposed to pick the first flowers off because it then gives more oomph to the roots. So I don't know if that's a good thing to do or not, but I think maybe I'll do a few, see if it makes any difference, and leave the others. One of the main jobs that I came down here today to do is to start digging out this front bed because that desperately needs clearing. So I've dug up some of it. I'm going to try and clear all that grass, rake it over, and hopefully get it ready for something to grow in there this year. So I'm going to crack on with that and I'll be back in a minute. Talking of flowers that need their heads cutting off, my rhubarb has, well, I think this is what happens when it begins to go to flower. And again, I've been reading that I think I'm supposed to cut this off, so I'm going to remove this one because this seems to be the biggest. And then see if that helps grow the stems, because really all we're interested in is eating the stems. We don't want to eat the flowers. Maybe you can eat the flowers, I don't know. I'm going to remove them and then gives more energy to the rest of the plant. Just want to show that the lettuce is still alive and well. Could do with a bit more water, but it survived. It hasn't been eaten by slugs, which I was surprised about. And those potatoes are also doing quite well. Peas and beans coming along slowly. The peas have actually got flowers on them now, which is good. After all that digging, one of my new favourite things is just to sit and admire what's going on the allotment, and a beautiful day like today. It's nice just to sit and enjoy the bird song. Oh, and I've just noticed there are some gooseberries, I think. I'm not sure if it's gooseberries or blackberries beginning to grow on this bush. They will soon be ready to harvest. So yeah, everything's taken off now. But for today, that's it from me. Thank you so much for joining me again today, and I will catch up with you very soon, hopefully next week. Take care.